Greetings, my friends. I'm coming to you from the lovely area in Italy called Liguria. And behind me, I'm sure you can see some mountains. They are called the Apennines, some well-known mountains in Italy. I have been in Italy for the past 10 days, conducting a week of prayer in the city of Milan. Then I left there on Sunday, and I came down to this area of Liguria to spend some days at this mission school called Menorah. We have some students who are learning how to be Bible students, how to represent Christ and his message to the world. And so I've been very blessed to be in this area. It's a little foggy today, but it's nonetheless a beautiful location. I wanted to show you, just before I get into my message, there's a little old building attached to the school. This, I found out, is actually a church built in the 1500s. And you can see the rough stonework. It was built in the 1500s, and there are some paintings in that church that were done in the 1500s. It is a Catholic church, and the church still owns it, but because of the way people get along in this part of Italy, the church has given the key to those who run the Adventist mission school, and so they have the key to open the church anytime they like. It's a very, very interesting arrangement, but I am told that people in this area, they trust each other. Some people use other people's land to grow fruit and that sort of thing, which is not very usual where I come from in the United States. And so I just wanted to show you where I am. But the purpose for this is to talk about education from the standpoint of the Seventh-day Adventist Church. Now, in our modern world, education is seen as a preparation for a secure life. And for us, a secure life goes from now until you die. And education is seen as a preparation to get a good job, that you may get a good salary and consequently have the basis for a sound and thriving family. But education from the standpoint of the Seventh-day Adventist Church is radically different. Let me express that differently. Education from the biblical standpoint is radically different. The Bible says in Proverbs 1:7 and Proverbs 9:10, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge and the beginning of wisdom. In other words, any educational pursuit, for it to be accepted in the eyes of God, must recognize God as the source of all knowledge. All wisdom and knowledge centers in God. It inheres in God. And so the Adventist philosophy of education is that its purpose is to bring the student closer to God. The purpose of education is to reveal God more clearly to the student, not primarily to get a job. Here is the classic Adventist definition of education. It is found in the book Education, one of our best-known books, page 13, paragraph 1. And it says this: our ideas of education take too narrow and too low a range. There is need for a broader scope, a higher aim. True education means more than the pursuit of a certain course of study. It means more than a preparation for the life that now is. It has to do with the whole being and with the whole period of existence possible to man. It is the harmonious development of the physical, the mental, and the spiritual powers. It prepares the student for the joy of service in this world. Now listen to how the quotation ends. And for the higher joy of wider service in the world to come. Let me say that again. The quotation ends with these words: it prepares the student, which is true biblical Christian education. It prepares the student for the joy of service in this world and for the higher joy of wider service in the world to come. If it prepares the student for both this world and the world to come, but the higher joy in the world to come, clearly education, if conducted according to biblical standards, focuses on the preparation for the life to come. But don't be nervous. Let me just make this very clear. Anyone prepared for God's kingdom is of maximum blessing to the world now. Let me say it again. To be of maximum blessing to the world now, we need to get as close as possible to a fitness for God's coming kingdom. So that the closer we get to God's ideal, the more of a blessing we are in this world. And so someone who truly follows biblical educational philosophy will invariably be the greatest blessing to the world. And so I say again, the purpose of education is to reveal God. If you study physiology, look for God. If you study physics, look for God. If you study math, look for his footprints. If you study archaeology, look for God. If you study accounting, look for God. All true knowledge originates and flows from God. And in the opposite direction, the pursuit of knowledge leads that mind inevitably back to God. And so I repeat, the purpose of education is to know God. Let me say it differently. The purpose of education is nothing less than salvation. Or as our author of the book Education, Ellen White, writes, the science of education and the science of salvation are one. They are virtually the same thing. And so I refer you again to Proverbs 1:7 and Proverbs 1:9. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. If you are a Christian family and your child is being educated, but the child knows physics, chemistry, history, geography, math, and calculus, but knows nothing about salvation, your child is not properly educated. If your child is suited for the highest position in the biggest company in your town, but does not know the plan of salvation, how is your child educated biblically? What I'm saying sounds strange, but remember, God says, Isaiah 55:8-9, for your thoughts are not my thoughts, neither your ways my ways, saith the Lord. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. To think like God is to adopt a mindset that makes you strange in the eyes of the world. So it is with education. It is a preparation for the life to come. It is a journey of discovering God. This is the purpose of education. But let me give you the assurance, the student properly educated who knows God will be suited, will be properly educated to carry out his duties in this present world. If you're being educated, if you're considering sending your child to school and you are a Seventh-day Adventist Christian or any Christian, remember Proverbs 1:7 and 9:10. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, the beginning of knowledge. From the first day to the last, that educational system should be a constant revelation of God, his goodness, his wisdom, and all the plans he has for your life. May the Lord bless you, bless your family as you seek to educate them biblically. And again, a true education is one that has God at the foundation, the sidewalls, and the roof. Thank you, and God bless you.